Penis owners in the room?
Yes.
Okay, I got you. Wait, that sounded like a woman. Far be it from me, a person from the Seattle area, to assume anyone's goddamn gender. That sounded like a woman. Maybe that's where you point to the penis you're with? Is that what it is? Okay. Penis owners in the room? That one's mine. Does that work both ways? I don't know. I don't know. I've seen that in porn. You guys seen porn? I can send you a link if you don't know what I'm talking about. I apologize for saying this. It's dirtier than I want to be, but I'm making a point. If you watch enough porn, you will hear a dude dirty talk go like, "Whose pussy is that?" I'm so sorry. I apologize. My point is, you guys don't know my wife, but it's hers. I mean, we hang out sometimes, but it's not mine. It's not mine. Porn dirty talk is aggressive. Porn dirty talk is like, "Do you like that?" And I've never been that angry or confident. I've said those words. It was a different tone. It was, do you like that? I'm just checking in, because there's a lot going on down here, but your face, nothing. Some couples watch pornography together. We're gonna go around the room and find out which ones. My wife and I, we were trying, well, let's be spicy. Let's watch together, and we're never going to do that again. We are going to keep watching separately, and then we will report together with our findings. That turned out to not be a good couples activity for us. You think it's hard picking a restaurant? Holy shit. Try picking a porn clip as a team. You're both staring at the screen like, some people are into some weird shit, man. Unless you are. No, I'm good too. Okay. I'm just gonna search for loving eye contact. That's my normal go-to. I got a folder called Feelings if we need it. Also, my wife was like, "Just so you know, I'm never gonna do that." And I was like, "I know. That's why I was gonna watch this lady have a go at it." I don't know what her secret is, but she seems to love it. Porn backstory was surprisingly important to my wife. She'd be like, "How long do you think he's been a plumber?" I'm like, "Are you shitting me?" He's union, so a while. I got distracted.